good morning, good evening, good afternoon from wherever you join. Welcome to the new segment of 2025, and I come up with my new show, the Digital Drovin Show. This is the show where we are talking across with the globe with the experts, and we will try to learning something new, something innovative from them. And today, in the first episode, I have an amazing guest with me, who has done an amazing job in during the start of the year and the story around that is I met him on LinkedIn and I just explored like what he's doing and all and I found that okay he built some amazing thing in the world of Power Apps which you haven't imagined so far. So maybe let's try to explore that into today's session. Also, this is a very innovative initiative and very new concept. So what we are going to do is we are going to talk about the chess application throughout this particular session. And it's not only just one session. We will be having multiple sessions in the future. So stay tuned throughout this entire series. So the main goal for this 2025 is I'm going to come up every month something new, something innovative for you guys. And we all know that last year in December, India won something in the World Chess Championship. And that is something which as an Indian we always proud of. And after that, I have seen many people are interested in chess and all. And suddenly I have seen one amazing post on LinkedIn by our today's speaker, Sushil. So I will introduce to him in a while. But before that, let me just give a little bit introduction about him, and then I'll welcome him to my show over here. So Sushil is basically from India, and right now he's living in Australia. So basically, he's in D365 Power Platform, and specifically in the apps as well. He has explored most of all the areas like Canvas app, Power Pages, Power BI, Power Automate, and much more thing. So again, he's building such amazing content on community as well. Like he built chess application. Apart from that, he has built some other gaming application as well. And this is something which is a new perspective for me because Power Apps and chess. I mean, it's a very complex thing, and we know the capability of the Power Apps like Power FX and everything, and how to make it something very innovative in the world of low code, no code, which is challenging one. And this is the power of Power Apps we are going to look at over here. So without me talking about more, I would like to introduce Sushil on the show. So hi, Sushil.
Hi guys, hi Dhruvin.
Hey, how are you?
I'm very good, Dhruvin. How about you?
I'm absolutely well. Thank you so much, first of all, for accepting my request to joining the my first tech show ever in 2025. So I would like to. I'm very happy to connect with you, and you know the way you are working, and you know the way you are innovating or doing the things with the innovations. I personally love it, and that's the reason that inspires me to connect you. And you know, I thought like, okay, this is something which world should definitely to be know. And you know, when I meet with you for the very first time, I still remember you told me that to learn anything or maybe to explore anything, game is the perfect thing. And because in game there are lots of complex pieces, complex logics, and that is how you explore any product, and that's how you the power of anything. And you did it that amazingly. But yeah, I would like to first of all welcome you. And first of all, I would like to ask you that okay, what inspires you to make this overall chess application, and how do you think about it?
Okay, first of all, thanks for the invitation, Dhruvin. You are doing amazing things for the community. I really appreciate all your efforts, and I've been following your videos way long back. If I have some query or if I want to just check out how to do some things because everything is not on top of your head, but your videos are like well, like bam, bam, bam. There are there like step one, step two, step three, and thank you for all the things you do. And what inspired me? So I would say I've been, hearing these comments from from my clients and some of the other developers, like, my peers who are like full stack developers or whatnot. They have been saying, low code, no code, it's trash. You have to do Python, you have to do C#, you have to be a .NET thing in order to achieve things. And I'm like, nah, PowerFX is powerful and we can do a lot of things. So in order to just prove them wrong or just to prove that PowerFX is a powerful tool, I was like, let's build something because I'm a big gamer and I'm like, why not build? I'm always interested in building some cool games, in the Power Platform world. And as Gukesh won the World Chess Championship, it was a rage basically in all over the
Yeah.
internet, and I was like, okay, why should not we build a chess game? It started from that idea, but later on when I went into that, I realized that, oh, it's not that as easy as it sounds. But yeah, that was the triggering point, like to show just the people that, what, a complex game like chess can be easily built, can be easily built through only power effects, not any other kind of extensions or something like that.
Okay, okay, cool. Good to know your inspiration as well as, what's the reason behind it to build upon that. So, I would like to ask you one more thing around that. Like, okay, when Sushil is not working in the technical world, or maybe when he's doing something, I mean, he's free on weekend, what he would like to do, what you do generally in your free time, apart from tech or
What do you
any
think?
other hobbies.
Gaming. It's all gaming, and I play cricket. So yeah, it would be mostly gaming, and I have like incredible folks at my company. Well, rather they are my like co-gamers and stuff like that, and we do a lot
Okay.
of online gaming and stuff. And apart from that, I'm always interested in building something in Power Platform, which really challenges me, because as you know, in the community there are like stalwarts like you and other people who keeps us updated in terms of like what is happening in the Power Platform world. But I would like to challenge myself that, oh, can we do this with this in Power Platform world? And I mean, I know I'm a little bit deviating from the topic, but that has taught me way more much than what I have gained, in terms of client experience or whatnot. Just push the boundaries, just have an idea, go try to do it. That's it.
Okay, okay. That's amazing. Like that's as a developer or that's as a technical person, we always push ourselves to do
Yeah.
something innovative, and that's how, the good products and good result come up into client side as well. So yeah, that's good to know about it. So now coming towards the main topic for today's session. So what you are going to show us today, and what would be the final outcome that our audience is going to be gain from you in today's session?
Yeah, as I think by the title and what the introduction we gave, we are going to dive right deep into the, how we have built chess game only through and through Power FX. And obviously, I think Dhruvin will provide all the, files and stuff like that, so our subscribers can go and, see how we have built it. But I would like to show them the, the core logic. We'll not go too deep into the code because it will take the entire, hours and hours. But we'll try to show how we have achieved it only through PowerFX code. Try to, if I know some people are not aware of basics of chess and stuff like that, so we'll cover like little bit like what does chess do. Even I didn't know before I started, maybe that ignorance was good, because I didn't
Mm.
know that chess was this complex when I went to it. Yeah, that's it. Like, yeah, we're diving right
Okay.
deep into the chess world. Yes.
Okay, okay, great, great. So yeah, I would like to definitely tell to all my subscribers that okay, this year specifically, like we are going to build this kind of applications specifically on the gaming and all. So it's very difficult for us as a presenter as well to explain each and every code of that. So what we are going to do is I'm just providing the link which Sushil has already uploaded on his GitHub repository, from where you can download the complete code repository. But the main goal here is you just need to understand the what's the logic behind that. Like, okay, what he has written and why he has written that. That's something which you should aware of. So at least we will go through high level of some of the important piece of logic, that how that logic building is working specifically in the complex application like chess, because there are many moves. There are many pieces involved into that. So we'll talk about that. Again, I would like to share one more important thing, that he has built the application in a way that one player can play, two player can play, it can run offline as well. Along with that, you can just have automated player as well. So obviously it's a very cool and innovative, and I have heard from him that he has used some complex thing. And maybe in next session we will talk about more about that, but I would like to give some glimpses to the audience that signal and integration, mostly on the internet when you talk about power apps, no one is talking about like, okay, we are talking about PCF, but have you ever talked about the quick response, like once the one move is open, another move is again still open on the fly. right? So this kind of cool thing, if you are interested to learn and all, watch out this full series. First episode will be going live soon, and second episode we will plan accordingly. And if you think, okay, this is something which you are looking in the future episode as well, or you have some special request for Sushil to build up for yourself, maybe you can just add out in the comment section, and we are happy to hear from you. And maybe just provide your valuable feedback, so that will always inspire me to find out such resources, and you will have something very good in your hand. Okay, so without let's talk about directly. I would like to hand over stage to Sushil without me talking more. He will try to explore, try to show the chess application and code and everything to you. So over to you, Sushil. I would like to hand over the stage to you.
So, guys, as you can see, the name of this app is Power Sushi Chess. Why? My stage name or LinkedIn name is Power Sushi. Why sushi? There is a lot of story because my name is Sushil and my pet name has been Sushi from my childhood. So that's the thing. Yeah, that's just a bit of flashback, like like Rajnikant or whatnot. Anyway, if we are moving ahead and go to the next slide, I would just like to tell about chessboard pieces for the people who don't know really about like chess. If I just have to summarize, king is the most important piece, and if king is dead, the game is over. Queen is the most powerful piece, where it can move to any in any direction, and it can go in any direction. And obviously queen in some places is known as minister. Then it is rook, where it will go in squares, horizontally and vertically. And in some places it is called as elephant. And bishop can move diagonally, square diagonally. And in some places it is called as camel. Knight, obviously it will only take L steps. And pawn is also known as soldier, where initially it takes 2 steps, and then it can only take 1 step. And it can kill if any opposite thing is there in the in a diagonal way. So that is about chessboard pieces. I hope, as you all would have known. Now, if we talk chessboard, like if we talk about chessboard or how it is built in terms of technicalities, right? Um, if you see chessboard, like it's a 8 by 8 table, and it has 8 rows and 8 columns, and you can divide those. You can divide like A, B, C, D, E, F until H, and there is 1 to 8 rows. The rows are known as ranks, and columns are known as files. So when you say that rook from A1 to whatever A2 to A4 or whatnot, that means that the piece which was there, the rook, sorry, the pawn which, sorry, bad example. Maybe I'll say a pawn which was there on A2, let's say it has to go to A4. That means that the pawn will go, that particular pawn which is there in A2 will go to A4 and stuff like that. So in order to, differentiate between each column, or to give a unique identifier to each square, we have this rows and columns, and the color pattern, as you know, light and dark. And the bottom right square is always a light colored square. And if I have to just throw some more context, here is the one of the screenshot which from our game. As you can see, we have columns until A to H, and you have 1 to 8 rows. And as you can see, the right bottom one always ends with a light colored one. And obviously we haven't used the black color, but the grayish black kind of color. And as I said, as you know, in the world of data, was every record has a GUID. Here every column, or every square will have a particular identifier. For example, this one is A1, B1, C1, D1. And as I said earlier, if you say that A2 pawn should go to A4, that means that this will come to here. Or why, or it's I mean, respectively, all the other pieces work like that. So this is my presentation, and now let's deep like directly go into the app thingy. So as Dhruvan was saying, you can play this locally. When I say locally, like one computer side by side, two players are sitting in the same, two different chairs and just playing it. Like, okay, your move and my move. That's what the first initial target was for me, to build this game like completely. Then I thought, okay, I want to make this play online also, that you are sitting here and someone is sitting somewhere else in the world, or someplace else with where he has access to the database, and he logs into his app and you log into your app, and you play each other like how we play online games. And then you have play with AI, where AI is your competitor, and you play accordingly. So you play with ChatGPT 4.0 or something like that, you know. Now, okay, now when I click on this play local, again, if you see the components, it's very simple. Minimum components have been used. Like I've used a lot of containers and stuff like that in order to select things, and use global variables to select like what mode I'm selecting and stuff like that. So if I only concentrate on play local in this first part, so if I just click on play local, it'll ask me, the login details, like the name details of the white user, and the one who picks up the black pieces. So I'll just say Sushi and Dhruvin. Thank you. So now after this, if I click go, as you can see here, we are in the game and I can start playing the game. But before that, if we understand like how we have achieved this, or how this thing is there, if you see this particular page, right, where we are at right now, this is a SCR chess, like screen chess. And if you see, there are like very minimum components. All this board is being, we have constructed the entire board only in a single gallery. And as you can see, I have like a button selector. This thing is just to show us like what is the unique identifier for that particular square. And you have a container where you only have the image. I just added into a container so that it can be responsive. And I have rectangle at the back to decide the color. So first thing, okay, okay, there is a gallery, and as you can see, there are not that much of components, but obviously there is a lot of logic which went into this in order to build this. So let's understand how we ended up here. So the first thing I have done is I have took like different images, unique images for each and every piece. As you can see, black bishop, black king, black knight, black pawn. Same thing goes for white bishop, white king. Sorry, my bad. I have taken images for all different kind of pieces. And most of the initialization of my code I have written on app on start only. And as you can see here, first thing what we have done is we have created a collection for chess pieces, where basically you can see the name of the piece and the image, what is the category, like if it's a pawn, or if what is the piece of the color and stuff like that. So that is all which we are doing in the first collection. But the main collection for us is this COL chessboard, which I will which I will go here and I'll try to explain you. So now, obviously, I have a gallery, which if you see here, I have a gallery which has a wrap count of 8. So that means that I need 64 records initially that says that what is the background color, like what if it's white, then it has to be black, then white, black, and stuff like that. And I have to initialize that A2 will have the white pawn, B2 will have the white pawn, C2 will have a white pawn, so and so. Like I have to initialize the board first. So I need 64 rows where it basically says the background, the piece which it has, and what is the color of the piece, and stuff like that. So if we understand, again, I will not go too deep into the code, but in order to just understand this, so as you can see, I tried to use sequencing and basically for each loops to roll that and generate them almost automatically, to give it. But if we go into this collection, right, I think I can explain you much more better. So sorry, just go here. So if you see here in this call chessboard, there are 64 rows. And if I open this table, right, you would be able to see that, okay, what is the color? I have used hex code kind of a thing here just to maintain the color, because it's not actually white and black, but it's like offbeat white and offbeat gray. But it would have been up to you, like what of the color you want to keep, and what is the column, and what are the rows here. And as you can see, with that code itself, I have derived the unique identifiers for A1, B1, C1, D1, all that sorts of stuff here. And if I go into, and there is a record column of piece where basically it says that what is the piece which it has. Like every piece will have a piece ID, for example white rook 1, because there can be two rooks, two elephants, so I have to name but like white rook 1 and white rook 2. And what is the piece type? So here you have like the category, the image, and all, where I showed the first collection. So, and let's say I wherever the pieces needs to be, we update the piece record there, and wherever the piece records are not there, for example, if I go to h3, it is blank because h3 is not supposed to have any piece when we start. That's how we have built it, this called chessboard thing. And if you go into the app on start, right, if you go into the code, once we provide, you can download this and you can check out. This is the logic which we have written in order to derive all those things. I haven't manually went ahead and said, okay, collect a1, I haven't written it manually so that it should be little dynamic and stuff like that. So I was using a lot of sequencing and stuff to in order to achieve these things, to give the pieces the particular GUIDs and stuff like that. Because pieces, as I said, there can be two rooks, two black rooks, two black bishops and stuff. So I wanted to say black bishop 1, black bishop 2, and stuff like that. So once that is done, now you have your call, you have your call chessboard collection. All I did is like put that call chessboard here. And as you can see in this rectangle, the background color, I just gave, if you can just concentrate on this item dot color. I will tell if we are selecting some page, we are highlighting it, so that is that part of the code. But as you can see, it is slightly directly, it is coming from this item dot color, where it will decide whether it's white black and stuff like that. um,
Perfect. And here I would like to give one tip to all the people who want to just understand the code. Maybe, whenever we see in the Power Ethics, you have that Copilot icon available. So, guys, if you don't understand anything, maybe just click on that Copilot and tell them to explain you that code. So, at least that selection is something which is self-explanatory for you. Or maybe nowadays we are living in an era like it's something that you always use AI to understand even the code as well. So, I know that is a complex sequences that Sushil has generated, which is amazing one. So maybe try to explore it out. It's all about like power effects and different combination of functions he has used over there. So just try to explore it.
exactly, that's a very good advice, guys. Yeah, and why I didn't went for the manual thing, because I didn't found it fun, like writing like 64 records directly. I could have done that also, but I thought let's use sequence. As I said, my whole point of this is it is as good as any other language. Although obviously we can't directly compete with them, but we can give a tough competition and say we can also do almost all the stuff which you can do in your .NET world or Python world or whatever world. So yeah, so once we have initialized our cold chess pieces, um, as you can see, we got all over 64 rows and stuff like that. So that's what pretty much it does. And I have some variables which I'm mentioning here, that what would be the next color and stuff like that, which will not go in deep. But okay, now I have the initial chessboard. I have the pieces. I have unique IDs for each and every square, and I have unique IDs for each and every piece. Now comes the real challenge, where you have to decide that if I select, as you can see here, I have a button in this gallery called as but piece selector. So if you select some button, how do you decide, like, okay, it can only go here, it can't go anywhere else? Or if I select a horse, it can only go to a3 and c3, not anywhere else. Here comes the challenge for us. But if you understand this board perfectly, at the end of the day, it's all mathematics, guys. You just need to know what you have selected. If it's a pawn, if it's a soldier or a pawn, then what column it is, and then you can just do, okay, it is a column and it has two. It's the very first move, so it will be a2 plus 1, it is a3, and a4. If I have variable which says whether it's the first move for their pawn or not and stuff like that. But yeah, but ideally, if you understand, it's all mathematical calculations. For example, if I select a bishop like f8, obviously I know it goes like this and it goes like this. So it would be like, okay, what is the next column which comes after f? It would be g. And then if I'm going in that, I have to do a minus thing. 8 minus 1 7 minus 1 6, and you have to minus the columns also from g to h. And you have to apply min and max, that it should not go way beyond that. So same logic will come like this. So at the end of the day, it's all you playing with columns and rows. That's it. End of discussion. It's not complicated if you see in that perspective. But saying this was easy rather than doing it, to be frank. But yeah, as I said, and here here comes the main part. I have used user defined functions which are still in preview, and I think they are going to be in general availability very very soon. They are exceptionally, they have empowered us in order to create our own functions. And I think user defined types are also coming near soon into general availability, where you can create your functions and stuff like that, so that you don't need to repeat your code, and you can generalize the logic, and so it works flawlessly. So my entire logics are being like they are being I mean, two functions are doing all the work. So the first function, if I go into app and if I go into formula, again, I will not unfortunately, I will not go more into the code, guys, but as you can see, it's a very very big code. The two functions, it is big, but at the end of the day, but if you understand how we are doing things for one piece, I don't think it will be as complex. Or you always have a chat gpt, you can just throw this code and ask it to explain, and it will do a better job. But as of now, as I said, like, there are two functions. One is like determine potential moves, where I'm sending like what is the piece, what is the position, and what is the current color, where I'm sending all the details to this determine potential moves, and it will give me all the moves. For example, I have already added a label here called as potential moves, and if I turn this on, right, so as you can see, it gives me all the moves it can make. For example, let's say now it's the white piece turn. Like, let's say I selected this particular thing, which obviously which is not being highlighted and all, because it is not a valid select, because it can't move anywhere. But let's, as you can see here, I have the pointer icon which I can select, and I have selected this. As you can see, it is giving me all the potential moves it can make, like d2, e3, f4, g5, h6, and then it is b2, a3, and stuff like that. And as you can see, it is not going anyway beyond that. So first thing was, okay, I thought rather than doing the entire logic in one single function, in order to decide, like, okay, what is the current piece board and stuff like that, I thought, okay, let's determine the potential moves first it can make, and then we will analyze the current board position or current other pieces which we have, and we will filter them accordingly. That's why I have two functions called as determine potential moves, and then another one is filter valid moves and stuff like that. So again, as I said, if you go back to the code, and if you see the code for this particular bishop selection, as I said, it is simple. If it is white, if it coming from C1, then it will do a +1 for column, like it will go to B, and it will go to A, and it will do plus of rows. Same thing goes for the columns on this side also, C, D, E, F, G, H, like that. And yeah, so just quickly, only to the if I just take just 30 seconds to show you. As you can see here, I have a switch statement which it says whether it is pawn or whether it is a rook and stuff like that. And if you see the rook here, uh, as you can see, I am checking like what row it is, what are the moves it can make and stuff like that. And I am why I'm why I'm doing like a comma and sending this as a string. I'm splitting it and I'm sending this to a collection. Actually, why I'm doing in this way is because the output of the user defined functions are not that great in order to pass the collections and all. It has untyped object, but I found rather than that, I can just send it as a string, and I can split it later on by a comma thing, and I can throw it in the collection and play around with it. That's the reason I'm passing the output as a text. But yeah, if it would have been a real project where I'm using UDF, my preference would be like you use the user defined types, or you use untyped object in order to do all these things. But as you know, we are doing this for fun activity, so it's okay, we can do that. So as I said, like, if I selected C1, as you can see, it is giving me this. If I select the rook, it is giving me all kinds of horizontal things and stuff like that. And if I select this, as you can see now, as it can make the real moves, it gave me what are the potential moves for it. Obviously, a3 and a4 and b3, because it can go diagonal also. But as you can see, I can't select the diagonal. I don't have a pointer icon here. Why? Because I'm playing around with the visibility of this button, like whether if it's valid moves, then only it can I'm showing this particular button, otherwise I'm hiding it. So That particular part is here. Again, not going too deep into the code, but as you can understand already that there is a lot of show hide logic happening here. And this is, as I said, this is the potential moves. But as I said, I have one more function here called as filter valid moves. So if I turn this on, and now let's say I selected something like this, as you can see here, now in B2 it is giving me like B3 and B4, and obviously it will say C3 and A3. But if you see the filter valid moves, it is only B3 and B4, because in this function I am analyzing the entire board, collection, like called chessboard, and I'm tracking everything and I'm filtering out the moves. And same goes for now. If I select, see, the camel, as you can see here, or the bishop, as you can see, I got the determined potential moves. I don't have filter valid moves because it can't move anywhere. And if I select if I select the knight or horse, as you can see, it can go to A3 and C3. And obviously it says it can go to D2, but there is a thing, so we have filtered out here. So that's the logic. So these are the two main functions where entire logic has been written. And as we have done in functions, as we have written the entire code in functions, so on selection of this button, there will be very less code here. As you can see, all we would be doing is collecting them and playing around, like what are the valid moves. As you can see here, we are throwing this into a collection COL selected valid moves. And as you would have already understood, we are just playing with the show hide logic of the but piece selector. No, I have kept a cross mark here for our understanding so that you can know where the pieces are going. And as you can see here, I can't even select it. As you can see, the button is gone. Now, let's say I selected this. Now, as you can see, I am playing around with the variables in order to say that you can go to this control. And as you can see, once the color has been changed to this thing, I can't select any the white pieces. I can only select, the black pieces. And you can see by the variation between the pointer thingy and the hand icon thing, like the point, the clickable thing. And let's say I moved it here just for the sake of it, and I will move it here. And now, if I select this, obviously I have two different potential moves now, like B4, C4, A4, like so three different potential moves. And if I filter them, it can go to B4 or it can go to C4. Why? Because again, in the filter valid moves, we are seeing, okay, you have an opposite, you have a piece which is opposite and stuff like that. And then when you click on it, it'll go ahead and update it. But in this meanwhile, guys, what we are doing with this is, once you make your move, like once you are making your move, all we are doing is we are playing with the records here. If I go to the sorry, if I go to the variables again, and if I go to the chessboard, all we are doing is we are removing that piece from there, and we would have updated the piece to somewhere else. So for example, earlier it was in B7, it went to B5. So all I'm doing is I'm taking it from B7, and I would have updated it to B5. All you need to understand is we are just updating the piece column, where we are updating the records from null to something else, so that we are making the move from one square to another square, as simple as that. Now, and when there is an existing piece already and we select that, it will go to a different collection called as defeated pieces. And we have two galleries here and here, where basically where we are kind of populating it so that you know what pieces you have lost here. So as you can see, I killed two pieces, so it's like you got a white piece here and you got a black piece here. As I said, guys, it's we are only playing with collections here. I'm getting this valid moves, and I'm storing this in called selected valid moves. And I have a different collection called as COL defeated pieces, where I'm sending them if some piece has defeated, so that we can just show them. But as you can see, we are only playing around with the call chessboard collection, which we have created on the on start. And we are just selecting the we are getting the valid moves, and we are updating the piece column in that particular table, and we are making the moves. So that's it. Like it's pretty straightforward if we see in terms of mathematical perspective. For example, again, to just reiterate, I selected knight. Obviously it has to be like two, it has to be like like left column and right column, but two rows ahead of it, and you got L thing. and all different sorts of stuff. So if I select bishop, as you can see, again I got like valid moves and stuff like that. Now you can play the chess game. As I said, this is the all local mode where one player will make one move and the other guy will make another move. And at this point I haven't built any checkmate logic or a draw logic or castling logic. If anyone, if any enthusiast in the Drewin subscribers are interested, they can take up this code and try to take up this as a challenge, and they can enhance, they can go keep on going further. Yeah, but this is pretty much the logic, guys. As you can see, we are only playing with one collection, or three collections, which are major collections, and updating the piece column. And with only two functions, we are doing all this stuff with very minimal components here. And mostly it is autonomous. We are not manually doing anything here. So that's the thing.
All right. It's great. I mean, I'm just looking at the power of low code here, and I'm just amazed to see this amazing thing that you have built. So I just want to tell everyone like what's the key getaways from this particular session is maybe the power of Power FX. That's something which you definitely should try. Second thing is power of user-defined function UDFs, because this is again a very popular concept now in the Power Apps, which everyone should know. And maybe if you want to learn the theory concept and some at very basic level, what's user-defined function and all, I'll paste one reference video as well for you. You can refer that out. But apart from that, this is a very good example for writing such amazing logic with the user-defined function. So that's also another key takeaway. Apart from that, logical thing of the app, like how each and every step are moving from one place to another place. So this is also something which you should learn from this example. Again, this will give you the complete idea, almost like if you are trying to learn out the power effects and all. So maybe start building out that will enhance your logical reasoning, and that's how you can learn the power effects much more faster rather than just going to theory of power effects. And nowadays, AI is always with you, so you can just paste this code into any AI platform and just understand what he has written. But yeah, it's an amazing showcase, and I would like to thank Sushil for sharing this amazing thing with all of us in the community. And hope everyone will enjoy it and build these things by your own. If you are building this chess by your own, and if you face any difficulties and all, feel free to connect Sushil on his LinkedIn. I'm providing his LinkedIn ID in the chat section, so you can always connect to him. All right. So with that note, I think we are good to wrap up for today's session. And maybe in next session, we will talk about something more innovative, specifically the multiplayer part and signaler integration. We'll definitely see in some of the next classes. All right. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for today's session. And thanks a lot once again, Sushil. And I would definitely like to have some more innovations in the space of low code, no code, and not only Sushil, I would like to open the stage for anyone who is listening or who is watching this video. If you have built something innovative and if you think that okay, this is something which should be presentable to world, I'm happy to provide the platform to you. So maybe feel free to connect me out as well on the LinkedIn if you have any innovative ideas, or maybe based on this chess application, if you have something else as well to build upon, maybe just throw your ideas. At least we are
My
hearing
sister
from
was
you.
asking
And
to build a Ludo game, by the way. Maybe if someone is
yeah.
interested.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like it's an open platform, so
Yeah.
anyone who is interested to build that, maybe you guys can collaborate as well. Like okay, and maybe we will have like one kind of Discord stream as well. That okay, will will play with the low code. It's an
Yeah.
interesting one, right? Because nowadays we have seen like okay, many popular gaming platform and everything on Discord and all those platform, but we really don't see such a cool thing in low code space. So this is something which low code app. And one amazing thing which I like about this session is no PCF here. Okay, guys, see complete gallery and complete power effects. Like even you don't even think about like okay, writing the installing the PCF packages and install it and all. Everything is out of the box itself. It's just a matter that you need to think how you are presenting your elements on the screen and how you are building your logic. And yeah, again, I would like to tell my my subscribers. If you have better logic than Sushil has written, feel free to add that as well, and
Yeah,
maybe try to connect him. I mean, it's always like an improvement, and we can also learn from you
yeah,
guys.
definitely.
All right. So with that said, Sushil, do you want to share anything else with our audience, or good, or what do you think about overall of today's session?
Oh man, it was really great. What I would love to say to the budding Power App guys, like who are really learning, um, I know people, whom I have trained in this Power App thing and stuff like that. They always come back to me like, "Can you give us any scenarios to build any application and stuff like that, any restaurant app or whatnot?" All I would be saying is, if you love, obviously, we all would have played some game in our life. Just go, because you have the user story there. You know the logic. You know what to build. You're building this restaurant app just to learn. I don't think a game can, I mean a game would be a best example for you to have. You have the entire scenario there. So if you build it, obviously it's all for the learning purposes. So go ahead and do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And with this session itself, I have now a new idea in my mind that okay, why not to build a popular game specifically in India? We are playing where when we are gathering together, like specifically Tamboda, or we can say it was a housey game, right? So nowadays I have seen that okay, paperless housey is very popular, and it's like okay, even to play the housey, we are just having the sound. I mean, it just randomly play the number and all. Maybe I'm just throwing this idea to everyone. Maybe something that you guys can build, or maybe if something you want to learn, probably just work on that idea. I mean, it's a new project definition you can consider for your learning. And yeah, if you are ready with that, maybe just tell us. We are happy to share it with everyone. Yeah. All right. So with that note, I mean, I would like to really end up the session here. Feel free to share your valuable feedback in the comment section, or feel free to connect Social directly if you have any question or surrounding that. And all the links are available in the description box. So thank you so much, everyone, for attending, and see you in the next session very soon.
Thank you.